We begin our story in the depths of explored space. We see a ship, a J2C1 executive transport vessel known as the Metamorphosis, sent here by the Loss Prevention Sector of Seraphim Terraforming Limited. The transport vessel drifts silent through the expanse of night in orbit around a dark and stormy planet, Samza 6, a planet not quite finished with its terraforming process. We see a smaller dropship release from the transport and begin to fly downward to break atmosphere. It shudders and shakes as friction flames lap the exterior, rocking the crew of 6 inside, labeled by the company as Crew Force Delta. Can we have everyone describe their characters? We'll go in around, starting with Michael.
Hi, yeah. My character's name is Hurley Rosebud. I've got a nice button-down, almost Hawaiian-looking shirt on, and then big long suspenders holding up my vac suit that kind of hangs around me and has lots of pockets and different tools all around me. It's quick access to jump into the suit, as well as I've got my hair in a ponytail and I'm wearing a hat.
Chenoa Reid.
That is my name. But I am playing Larry Scoops. He is a large white male dressed in a very heavily armored garb. It's definitely meant for space. You can see that he's wearing his big old overalls over them. They're all patched up. They look like they've been through a lot of shit. There's a little double cherry patch that's been sewn into the knee, and he's got a huge fucking machine gun, and he's just standing there, overseeing, waiting for some action, but hoping that it doesn't come.
Sitting next to Larry are 2 more Marines. Private Scotts, who is sweating and has his eyes closed and is muttering to himself. This is his first drop mission. And Private Cortez, this isn't their first rodeo. They're leaning up against their gun and kind of waiting for the rocking to stop. But it does look like they perhaps get a little bit seasick, more or less, as this is happening.
Turn it a little bit green.
Mm-hmm.
Look alive, boys!
Cortez goes, hoorah!
Hoorah!
Evan Batt.
Hold on. Wearing just a bright yellow, solid color, with a utility belt, hazmat suit, taking off the like headpiece to it, the hood, helmet. Yeah, under this cowl is Philis Lysander, Ly for short, who is just head shaved, only eyebrows, the only hair showing, Envy with a fucking tattoo of like a little dragon going over their scalp. That's it. That's the character.
Beautiful.
Awesome, gosh.
Gerald is typing away at a computer, getting ready to drop. They look like a nice, clean-shaven man. There's a part of his face that looks like they tried to, like, fix the synthetic skin, but it kind of is warped and gross. He's a little unsettling. They're in a long jacket and battle dress, and they look serious. They're staring at the screen and typing away seriously.
I am serious.
I am serious.
Activating Sirius.exe. 3 months ago, each of you were issued commands or accepted job postings assigning you to this mission, entering cryosleep aboard the transport ship until you entered the SAMSA system. It's only been about 45 minutes since you all woke up from cryosleep, and in that time you all were briefly debriefed by your manager, Moss, that your mission was simple. Rendezvous with the platoon commander, recover any scientific samples in jars or test tubes, and gun down anything that tries to stop you. For your mission, you were given 1 extra hazmat suit, an SMG with 3 magazines, a first aid kit, and each of you gets a stim pack. and the mission leader was handed a dossier. Who do we think is the mission leader on this team?
Most capable nerd or
Jack of all trades.
Or corporate liaison?
Nobody would
we're not
trust
putting a robot
me.
in charge.
Yeah,
No.
That's
that
fair.
always ends badly.
I voted against that.
I know.
Do we want to have the other three perhaps roll for it, or
I remember.
We battle right now.
Alrighty.
Arms on the
Fisticuffs.
table. Arm wrestle for it.
Just a single D10.
What are we rolling?
Whoever gets,
single
D20?
D10?
whoever gets highest.
I got 4.
I got an 8.
5.
Oh.
All right, that's Larry Scoops,
Larry Scoops.
mission commander.
Yeah, I'm scooping this outfit.
Larry is handed a dossier.
God damn it, I can't read.
Just real quick before we get into the dossier. You said +1 hazmat suit.
Yes, hazmat suit, an SMG with 3 mags,
SMG.
a first aid kit, and then everybody got a stim pack as well.
Suck my gun.
I put this as a this is for all of us.
All right,
Group shit.
Lieutenant Kaplan. Make contact. Recover Dr. Adams' samples. I said that right?
Eat 'em.
Eat them. Oh, that makes sense.
I can't, as I said, I can't read.
Surviving personnel. Terminate. I do know that word. Hostiles. That's the other part of it.
Surviving personnel, terminate. Hostiles.
I'm just only reading part of these. I know what's going on.
So we've got to recover Dr. Edam's samples and,
and make
shoot any
contact
hostiles?
with Second Lieutenant Kaplan.
Okay. Do we know what the hostiles on this planet look like?
HUD.
A full dossier from a QR code on the corner of the little data screen you're handed pops up and gives you an intel timeline. Seraphim Terraforming Limited detected signs of biochemistry on the planet Samza 6, marking that it may be ripe enough to begin laying the groundwork for colonization. 1 year ago, a skeleton crew of researchers, engineers, and marines sent by Seraphim arrived to establish the Greta Base and Heron terraforming station. 6 months ago, one of the researchers, Dr. Edam, the mission specialist, reported that they had discovered a new species of arthropod and captured a sample larva to study. 2 weeks ago, Greta Base ceased all communications. Upon arrival of the Metamorphosis at Samza 6, they found Greta Base unresponsive and was assumed derelict or dangerous. Crew Force Delta contracted and dispensed with the following mission. Make contact with Second Lieutenant Kaplan for a status report. Recover Dr. Edam's scientific specimens and notes. Rescue any surviving employees. Terminate any potential hostiles. And then in a subnote, anything that should prevent you from completing these goals is considered hostile. And as payment, you are getting 2 months' salary and 1 month hazards pay on completion of this mission.
This door isn't opening. It's hostile.
Oh, I got a crowbar for that, so.
Just starts.
Contain your aggression.
The dropship's engines growl and the hull groans as you break through gloomy clouds and pouring rain. You all sink into your seats as the ship's thrusters engage, but it struggles to make a smooth descent. Rain and wind assault the ship, and you see the pilot, Anders, and co-pilot Renfield struggling to maintain control. Alarms begin to blare.
Ah!
You're bathed in scarlet as lights start to flash, and I need everyone to make a fear save as Anders leans back and says, "We're in for a bit of a rough landing."
What do I roll?
Is going to be a D100, and you want to roll under your listed stat for your fear.
Under your.
Bird. Yes.
Under your
Oh,
listed
no.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's Call of Cthulhu, Delta Green.
Oh,
use the same
great.
system.
Well, that's.
Oh. Wait, y'all have a disadvantage if you're rolling near me, right?
Correct. Your android, it gives you disadvantage, so you roll twice and take the worst results.
Oh,
So
great.
Well, yeah,
I
that
already got
was higher.
66, so.
I already failed.
Dang it. This other one would have worked, but I gotta take that 66.
Okay, so Michael, you got a 66. Is that 2 6s on the thing?
That was, yeah.
Whenever you roll doubles, that makes the result critical. So that is a critical failure
Oh, lovely.
rather than a regular
welcome.
save.
Fantastic.
So we'll have you do something in a sec. Shen,
I got a 92.
92. That is a failure. Evan,
42.
42. Is that a failure on
Yes.
your? Yes, that's a failure.
52. And it's
52.
under.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, you're an android. You keep your cool. Standard. You're being buffeted by some kind of tropical storm. It should be fine. Everyone else starts.
I let out a. Have we not learned as a human race not to fuck with bugs?
I'm going to need Hurley Rosebud to make a panic check. You have gained a stress by failing that save. Everyone who failed has gained 1 stress.
I start breathing really fast,
And
I,
Hurley is going to roll a d20 for you there. Panic.
D20.
Yeah,
So then stress minimum is 2, so does that mean it goes up to 3?
correct.
Okay.
So your minimum stays at 2.
Yeah.
but yeah, current goes up to 3.
Fucking close.
What'd you roll?
A 5.
A 5, and your stress is 3 right now, correct?
It should be.
Yes.
You succeeded your panic check.
So because I failed the fear,
Yeah, your
then
stress
my
went up,
stress went up to 3.
which
Oh,
made
it's
your
current.
panic check
Oh,
more
so
difficult.
Minimum is 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
You got it.
gotcha.
But you rolled high enough, you succeeded anyway.
Thank goodness.
Um,
I grabbed a paper bag from somewhere around and I'm just.
That is unnecessary.
Sorry, Evan, do you have anything?
Was it just because they crit failed that they're doing the panic check, or was that everyone?
Correct. It was a crit fail. Yes.
Okay.
Anytime you crit fail a check or a save, you make a panic check.
Okay.
This makes some sense.
After what feels like minutes of course correction, being buffeted by an oncoming tropical storm, the ship manages to land with a deep squelch.
Hold on tight, boys. Ah!
Oh wow, this landing's taking a while.
Oh, thank God.
The dropship's ramps open to the landing zone. The sound of it torrential rain pouring down like Judgment Day, hammering on the ship's roof and soaking everything in sight. Lush and dense jungle surrounds a clearing, canopy and underbrush straining against the wind. Thunder rolls, and it is dark as night as the charcoal clouds choke out all sunlight. Anders leans back and hollers over the noise to you guys.
We'll meet you back here at evac in a couple of hours, Chief. Otherwise, you'll have to wait out the storm.
And he waves you off. Renfield, the co-pilot, gives a thumbs up as you all gather your equipment and begin to walk out into the muck.
Fucking bootlickers.
Hey, at least it's a beautiful day.
The pilots engage their thrusters and begin to take off to return for evac. You see the fire from its engines like slow-dying candles as it disappears into the dense mist and oppressive clouds. Up a shallow, muddy slope is the colony, sitting silent as a prayer, not a light to be seen. Crew Force Delta, what do you do?
Well, we gotta go make contact.
Lay on, McDuff.
HUD? Which way am I going?
The HUD flips up and notates the colony ahead as the Greta base.
Ah, perfect.
Get a map marker in front of you.
All right, single file line. I want Scott and Cortez at the back.
Yes, sir.
I pull my revolver out of its holster real quick, give it a spin, make sure that all the bullets are sitting there, and click it back and holster it. Everything seems to be in order, but I keep my hand on it. And it's kind of dark out here, yeah?
Yes, it is.
I'm going to click on my headlamp.
My eyes just kind of.
I'm gonna keep my headlamp off. I don't know what these tiny little fuckers like.
That's fair. Should I turn mine off? Am I going to give us away?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, turn that off. If we need it, we'll put it on.
I'll stay close. I'll try not to trip.
I'm gonna use my bioscanner and just sort of passively
Okay.
scan around, and that's long range.
Gotcha.
Just signs of life.
Um,
It just shows location.
I'm going to have you make a Xenoesoterica check.
Oh shit.
As you are scanning around for signs of life, you're looking for maybe this arthropod or something that was mentioned in the notes. So you're going to go ahead and roll your D100, and you'll add whatever bonuses that skill gives you based on its tier.
Okay, so it's a master skill. Is that an intelligence check?
Yes.
Cool. So I'm rolling 72.
Nice.
Okay. 22.
22? Okay.
Nice.
So you notice right away that the rain and the storm seems to be garbling your scans, and you wouldn't be surprised if it was doing the same to comms as well. However, you are able to tune the instrument enough to get a scan of the immediate area. You don't detect anything in the underbrush or the trees around you. Nothing's like stalking the tree line or anything like that. You're getting readings of all the foliage and stuff. And up ahead at the Greta base, it seems its walls are thick enough that it prevents you from scanning fully through. But with the long range of this thing, you believe your immediate area is clear.
Awesome. All right, looks like we're clear from anything too spooky for now.
Good.
Copy that.
Just some plants.
It is a short, muddy walk up to the front airlock of the Greta base.
Squelch, squelch.
Squelch, squelch. Rust creeps over the large metal door which bars entry from the main building. This thing looks old. It looks like it hasn't been touched in, or at least kept up with, in weeks. If this rain has been consistent, then the rust makes sense. It does seem somewhat derelict. You're not sure if there's power going to this thing.
I unholster my crowbar, and I got this. And I walk up to the door. First, I go to check it to make sure that it is rusted shut.
Yeah, you flip open the keypad, not working. You pull on the emergency release. You're pulling off flecks of rust and layers of it. You tug on the release and it's stuck and it wants to stay. And so finally, you resort to your crowbar. I'm gonna have you make a strength with advantage because of your crowbar. So roll twice and take the high result, and this is a D100 roll.
This is D100.
Yes.
Most of the things are going to be D100.
Yeah,
okay.
the D20 will only be for panicking.
Okay. That's I have to train myself, smack my hand every time I reach for the D20.
Yeah.
Everybody else against the wall. I hold my machine gun towards the door, but not at my fellow Hurley.
60. Am I looking for the higher number or the lower number?
You're looking for the lower number. You want to roll under your strength score. If you have any associated skills that you think would work for this.
Mechanical repair?
Mechanical repair, yeah. What's the what kind of bonus does that give you?
Plus 15.
Plus 15. So that will bring your strength. So you add that to your strength, and then if that makes the result lower, then...
Perfect. So I rolled a 43, was my lowest one.
Okay.
And with that plus 15, my strength is, that puts me up to 53.
All right. Yeah. So you, with your knowledge of these machines, you know where the locking mechanism is roughly located on the door. You get your crowbar in there, and with a hefty pull, it seems to go through a kind of automatic release as it and grinds open a number of inches wide enough for you guys to be able to squeeze through.
I'm gonna brace my my crowbar as I jump out of the way and let
I go first.
let what is it? Let Larry go in front of me.
Scoops.
Larry Scoops.
Lieutenant Scoops.
Lieutenant Scoops.
All yours, Larry.
I fall behind Scoops.
Gotcha.
I'm not follow behind the android.
Scots and Cortez are behind the researcher.
Yeah,
the scientist.
I got distracted while they were opening the door, looking at trees and shit, and wandered off a little bit and got dragged back.
Cortez just has you by the collar and just
Cortez, you're so big and strong. You just pick me up.
I'm gonna check the surroundings. I'll look around.
Muddy floors, storage lockers lining the walls. You step inside to an airlock chamber. There is another heavy steel door across the way from you.
Completely enclosed steel chamber.
Correct.
Oh,
It's
right.
airlock, so one seal at the back,
Yeah.
one seal at the front.
We all get to the end of the hall. All right, Hurley, you got another one in you?
Damn.
I think so.
Oh, I could also just try the door.
Oh, yeah, it's probably a good idea to start there. But I do it with the crowbar.
Yeah, you notice this door appears keycard locked, and like the one before, does not have power running to it. So you jam the crowbar into the door. We're gonna have you make another check, same associated skill.
Well, that first one made it. That
Okay.
was 30. Yeah, that second one did not. So,
Okay.
30.
30. Yeah, you jam the crowbar in. You manage to pry this thing open wide enough to get the rest of you through. You've got these two narrow gaps that the Marines kind of have to unequip some of their gear from their vest to slip through and then re-get it all back on. But you make it into what appears to be the commissary. You all see a ransacked mess hall and rec room. The lights are flickering on emergency power. This place is a mess. There is a banner that hangs from the ceiling. Rain, it drips and is leaking from up there as well. There's empty cups and dishware and broken glass everywhere. Yeah, what do y'all do in here?
Is there any kind of power panel?
Yeah, you want to look for like a terminal?
Yeah. Something that I could reboot
I
or
will
work
have
on.
you make. Can I see the player's book real quick?
Yeah.
Well, the faster we can get the lights on in here, I think the more well off we're going to be.
Yeah, that would be wise.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
I'd like to check the computers to see if there's any data.
So while
may need.
you check the
Need the security room.
yeah, I'll look around to see if I can find somewhere to reboot some of these systems in here.
Yeah, I'll
Hopefully,
say
I don't got to crowbar any more doors.
I'll say either a computers or a mechanical repair check with intelligence as the main skill to try to locate where this kind of panel might be, a security panel to give you diagnostics on the station in general.
So I would add my 15 for expert skill to my intellect, and then I have to roll below that.
Yes, exactly.
Can I help in looking for that?
I think so. Yeah.
Does that give advantage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Well, that's 50, and I think that beats it already.
Okay,
yeah.
you can roll to see if you crit.
That's 27. So
27. Okay, gotcha.
Way low.
What were the other two soldiers' names?
Cortez and
Cortez.
Scott.
Scots. Like the toilet paper.
Okay.
Yeah, in the future they pluralize.
Yeah.
I think
They get more Scots.
Get more Scots.
Hurley and Philis, Lie, you find a little like mall map that says like you are here, and it shows the commissary, and it shows you that there is there's a pantry and a freezer offset from the commissary to your guys' right. To your left, there will be a hall leading to the crew habitat, the armory, the garage, and then a command center and a med bay. The command center would likely be where a lot of your diagnostics for the whole base would be, and the med bay would likely be where medical scientific research and stuff goes on.
Okay, so it looks like it's left and then the third right.
I think we should split up.
Are we sure?
Where are you going?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow you, and I guess as long as we each have a Marine with us on each team.
I think
Yeah.
Cortez should come with me.
I mean, we can split it up in two. Cortez and Scots can go with you, and then we can go to comms. The android and I.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Of course, just a thought right off the dome here, but if there are people still alive, my thought would be that they are probably in the med bay or the control room. So definitely be careful, especially if they had some kind of arthropodic experiment going on. That is terrifying that the med bay is right next to the control
Yeah,
center. So.
at this point, if I see somebody alive, it's going to be very questionable on whether or not they're going to be alive for any longer.
And then, is there signs of a struggle?
Like blood and
I will
shit
have
and-
you make.
Oh, the smell.
So it's not obvious at the very least.
I think that like the place is definitely there's broken plates and stuff on the ground. Like there's a table turned over.
Okay.
But I'm gonna have I'll say make an intellect check, and then if you can convince me a skill is appropriate.
I mean, I'm continuing to use my scanner,
Okay.
Archaeology?
Gotcha.
just looking for any kind of
Yeah, I think
Life.
the bioscanner will give you advantage.
type. Yeah, I fail by 7.
Okay. You're using your bioscanner, and I think the storm is really getting to it.
It's it doesn't work super well through walls, and it looks. This is a research center, so there's like.
Right? Was it?
You're in the commissary right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like the lead lines, just in case of like solar radiation or whatever. So it's not working.
If anyone else wants to make the same check, they may.
May I do it with archaeology? Just, like making inferences of times past, sort of
Yeah.
thinking. Lower, right? And
Yes.
Advantage or no advantage?
No advantage. That was because of the bioscanner.
Gotcha. So that puts my 46. Oh, you said intellect?
Yes, an intellect-based skill.
Well, that was gets it up to 46, and I rolled a 45.
Hey,
Nice.
nice. So you begin looking around, and I'm picturing in Batman games, you can like reconstruct a crime scene. But you're like looking around, looking for signs of how all these things come to pass. You notice that the rain leaking in is because of bullet holes in the ceiling.
Oh.
You notice broken glass and dishware. You think you spot like some shredded rubber from like a foot that stepped on one of these cups and left behind a bit of their shoe. You see bullet casings, and then you find blood splatter, I think, as lightning through the bullet holes throws into stark relief a red stain on the walls and floor. You follow them, and you find a woman's head ripped at the neck beneath one of the tables.
Oh my God!
What is it?
It's a female head, and I sort of grab it,
Gingerly
and
grab
bring
it.
it up onto the table.
I'm gonna need you to make a fear save.
Best. Yep.
With a disadvantage.
Yeah, with disadvantage because you're android friend.
Get away from me!
Go
Damn it.
where?
What is my initiative? Disadvantage. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that one already failed, but.
That's a 3.
That's a 3?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Well, which I'm taking the higher number?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, 31.
31. Okay,
Which is
so,
2 points above my fear.
so that's a fail. So you take another stress. I think I might actually have everyone here make a fear save as they witness this.
I should have just left it under the table, but I would have said something, so eventually.
Your first sign of human casualty.
I'm good. 45.
Gerald is cool as a cucumber.
I fail.
That's another stress.
I'm fine.
Okay. So yeah, you pull out this head. Everyone is affected by it. Gerald seems
Gerald's a bot.
unfazed.
Bit curious, maybe.
I've seen decapitated heads before.
With some looking, you might be able to find the rest of this person, or you can move on to other areas. It's up to y'all.
Scratch that. We're all going to the med bay.
That sounds like a good plan. I'm definitely want to stick with you guys. I am going to take just a quick moment and just look around, see if we can figure out who this woman is.
Is there any like residuals or anything that looks like not human on the head? Like if does it look like there's like
Claw marks
Yeah.
or
Pincer
teeth
maneuver.
marks or something.
or like venom
Um,
or some shit?
I'll have you make a Xenoesoterica check.
Fuck yeah.
That's such a useful skill.
It is.
Can I look for other things that
Maybe
might
not.
that might be dead but not human?
Yeah. Go ahead and I'll have you do an intellect check, and if you can convince me of a skill to help you look for stuff.
I mean, no.
Okay. Lie.
I failed.
You failed. Gotcha. That is a stress every time you fail a check.
Fuck.
It's 28 under 58.
Okay. Yeah. So you succeed. You take a look around in the commissary. You poke your head back in the airlock for a second. You notice that one of the locker doors in the airlock has claw marks across it through the metal. You notice in the commissary, along with the bullet holes and blood splatters, there are some large claw-like gouges in the furniture. And I think as well as this, you notice that some of the tables and chairs and stuff that have been thrown around are a barricade. Not only that, I think you find the rest of this headless corpse.
Found the body.
It's in fatigues. It has a gigantic hole in its neck, and its body is covered in these tiny, like, lacerations, almost like paper cuts all up and down its skin.
I was gonna say, do these claw marks look like they came from something big or small?
You'd guess something big and strong. So you're not sure what these paper cuts have to do with that.
We need to be very aware of our surroundings.
Copy that. All right, let's roll out. Med bay.
I'm gonna
Okay.
take the body with us.
Okay. Yeah, you just grab the back of its fatigues and are dragging it. It's no burden to you.
We're going to the med bay.
I'm going to wander behind you and try and see if there's any like key cards or anything on it.
Okay.
As we're just walking down the hallway, I'm just kind of like reaching down and checking the pockets and trying to rub off blood to see what the name tag is.
You find dog tags that say Lieutenant Corporal Xavier.
Xavier. All right, Scots, you're on Hurley.
Take those.
Cortez, you're on the scientist.
On it.
Hey, Cortez. So, you come here often?
To this planet? No.
Oh, right.
He pulls out a
Puts the
cigar.
helmet back on.
Okay. So y'all are splitting up. On the HUD minimap that you've been given, you know that there are 2 doors you could go through. There's one straight ahead and one to your left that you can take to get into the proper hallway to get to either the med bay or the command center. They're right next to each other.
Convenient.
Yes, indeed. Let's see here.
We'll go med bay, and then I think Android and I will split off.
Okay, gotcha.
All right.
So that door ahead.
I can also help with the repairs if you guys do notice anything in there that needs fixing.
Alrighty.
You've got another locked door ahead of you. You know that there is emergency power, at least on the inside of the base, as there are lights flickering in a dull red. So perhaps if you had the right key card, this would open without struggle, but at the moment it stands locked.
Does this person have a key card? Point to the corpse.
Pat down.
They
All the pockets.
do not, and as you search them, you realize their entire chest cavity is hollowed out. The hole in the neck isn't just clean slice, it's a hole leading past their collarbones and into
shit.
their
Oh,
rib
so
cage.
the inside of there. This person is hollow, by the way.
Oh,
Well, we're getting this door open one way or another.
Can I look inside?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can examine
One
it.
flashlight eyeball just
Yeah.
zooming into the inside of it.
So I'll have you make an intelligence check if you can convince me of a skill that's appropriate here.
Nah.
And then is anyone making a check against the door?
Crowbar.
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 Gotcha. All right, advantaged, same body and machine repair.
41.
That's a success from Gerald. You believe something burst from the inside and took the head with it.
Burst from the inside. Popped.
Sounds appetizing.
Got it.
you could. She was scooped.
Scooped clean.
scooped.
I wouldn't say scooped per se.
Scott,
Okay.
Scott's and Cortez. Did you do this? No. Hurley, you get your crowbar into this thing. Trust you. Does your crowbar have a name? I don't know why it hasn't failed you yet, and I'm.
I always have it right next to Whiskers on my tool belt, and
So
Whiskers
milk.
is a small metal or a small gold trinket. So I call it Whiskers Steed. And sometimes when we're on the ship, I'll put it up. I'll put Whiskers onto the crowbar and pretend like he's flying the crowbar through space when we're at a big window.
What
Hell
does
yeah.
Whiskers look like?
He looks like the Rat King. Like he's very slimy looking, but he does give good luck. He's got kind eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Slimy looking, but got kind eyes.
You get the door open, and immediately as you step into the hallway, Scotts goes, "Shh! Do you hear that?"
No.
There's a faint metal knocking sound every now and then. It's repetitive at steady intervals, and you believe it's coming from your left. But command center's right ahead of you, med base to your right.
Medbay. Everybody to me.
You turn right. We've got another locked door.
Crowbar.
Whiskers trusty steed strikes again. Clink.
Body advantage. Body yada yada.
That's success.
Hell yes. Okay. Who needs key cards?
I'm just gonna kiss this crowbar after I open this door. Thank God.
You pry it open. Maybe you get like a jack in there and press a button and it automatically expands a little bit, and y'all are able to enter the med bay.
I go in first. Do a sweep.
I kind of cower behind you.
There is a small medical area with an operating room inside and an observation and analysis lab outside. They're separated by a glass wall and a locked door. In the observation and analysis lab, you can see banks of computer terminals, all powered down with piles of loose paperwork and a logbook. Inside the med bay, you can see the entire operating area has been destroyed. remnants of the equipment are smashed or are fused together by some kind of webbing.
I'm gonna take my sample collection kit.
Okay.
And do a little, like, take out a vial and, like, kind of screw it a little bit, and a little, like, gripper hand comes out of it and grabs a bit of that, and then I pull it in, and then I put it into this little, like, scanner to see if I can get any information about what
Gotcha.
the fuck that is.
Yeah, you use your bioscanner in compilation. Do a Xenoesoterica with advantage because the bioscanner.
3.
3. That's a success. That's a resounding success. You believe that this webbing is indeed excreted by some kind of arthropod. I'm gonna see if they have anything written specifically about the webbing that I can give you.
Yeah, because I was like, I did that, and I was like, it's a big fucking spider. Like,
I would say at the very least you notice that it seems upon initial contact with the webbing there was a slight acidic effect,
Okay.
but that seems to be now inert, like it only lasts for a few minutes or whatever.
Yeah, so they shoot acid webs. Don't get caught by that.
Are we
Wonderful.
sure that these ones are unoccupied?
Fucking hate bugs. Nobody touch anything. Don't open shit. Don't touch anything. Scott's Cortez, sweep the room.
Cannon fodder.
They start looking around, whipping their guns around. They check the door that leads to the surgery area. You guys are in the computer bay.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think I got
looking
those
around
backwards.
too.
I'd like to scan the papers that were scattered around.
Okay.
And also see if I can get the computers working.
Okay, I'm gonna have you make an intelligence check. Scott's and Cortez are scanning the room, so they're going to be doing like a perception sort of intelligence. Is
Yeah.
anyone else doing anything specific?
I can also roll like an intelligence check for them.
Okay.
Should I make a roll with computers for the computers? Should I make separate rolls?
The computers seem to be inert at
Okay.
the moment. They're out of power. So I'd say you go to tap on them, and it doesn't seem to work.
Would this be
13.
considered
13?
military training
I think so.
since we are sweeping the room?
Yeah, you're doing an effective military sweep, making sure there's no hostiles at the
Yeah.
moment. Absolutely, military training. Since there are 3 of you, I think you can have advantage on this as well.
Okay.
Scott's Cortez and Scoops.
Oh, 69. Everybody drink.
Is that a failure?
61. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you guys do a look around of the room. The place is kind of in rough condition. You don't see any immediate threats, but you also don't notice anything immediately intriguing to sort of look into. But you believe you're safe in this room for now. Gerald, you are looking through the logbooks and the papers. Latest entry in the logbook is notes from Dr. Edom. They're personal notes, and he reports that he's excited about the discovery of something they call, and they use a German word that I'm going to try not to butcher, Krebsschleider, which is crab song. He describes it as a shrill shriek produced by the, quote, carcinids.
How do you spell that?
Carcinid. Carcinid. Also in there, Edom begrudgingly admits the base's android, Hinton, did much of the legwork of this discovery, but it is Edom who truly put 2 and 2 together.
Sounds like bullshit to me.
Yeah, I was just about to say, took the words right out of my mouth.
Is anyone else doing anything in this room? You've got the glass wall.
I'm gonna go look through the glass wall and shine my flashlight through.
Yeah, you're shining your flashlight through into the
That can't go horribly wrong.
into the med bay. You notice this room is locked via key card. The operating room's destroyed. There's smashed equipment. You see like a med pod that appears broken. You see like a T3 bioprinter. It's supposed to print biological material that is broken as well. You see what looks like a lead container that appears intact and closed. And then you see 4 large glass tubes with some kind of shriveled... It almost looks like the neck of the turkey that you pull out, but with strange angles, sharp points, and bits of carapace. You see 3 of them.
Those are the fucking samples.
I was gonna say,
About as tall as your torso,
Think I
sitting
found
in
the
these
samples.
containers.
spotlight them with my flashlight. Do they respond to the light at all?
They don't appear to be moving. no.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Gerald's gonna tap on the glass.
Did anybody find a key card anywhere?
I'm
No.
gonna go through desks and yeah.
You start going through desks, looking for any kind of key card. I'll say now that you don't find anything. You do spot an air vent that cool air is blowing out of, leads somewhere else in the building. And I think you would note power cables leading up and around. You think the generator for this place might be in the garage sort of area. It might be possible to restore power.
As of right now, the power lines all look like they're still intact.
Yeah, it's still on in emergency power right now, but
Okay.
you think if you could get the generator going, at least this room might be able to receive it. Hurley, Gerald, Philis, Larry, and Scotts and Cortez. How are you all divvying up as you go to maybe get power back on and investigate the base further? Everyone looks to the team leader.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we need to turn on power, so I'm definitely gonna head over there. And Troy definitely was too. Did you guys want to stay in the lab?
Yeah. I'm gonna look around at some equipment and see just like what they were doing and try to figure out any like readings.
I'm thinking I'm gonna go with you in case it needs any repairs. I've got all my tools, so if we
Okay.
need some minor wiring done, I can definitely.
Sounds good. Scotts and Cortez will stay with the doctor.
Yes, sir. Scotts and Cortez load their guns. Again, the fifth time you hear the sound effect. And they lean up against the walls and start protecting the researcher. Gerald, Larry, and Hurley begin making their way to the garage. Immediately as you three step out into the other hallway, that loud knocking sound gets louder, and it only continues to do so as you make your way towards the garage.
Unsettling.
I'm gonna switch my crowbar for my revolver.
Revolver? I hardly know her.
Like Scoob. I'm gonna need a revolver.
Let's get out of here.
So you guys get to the garage and you see an airlock-style door leading into it that appears shut, but you can hear the banging metallic sound coming from inside, still at steady intervals.
Is there a window, like on the door?
Roll a luck check. This is the stat down there. So on a D10, we'll do 6 or above. Yes, there's a window. 5 or lower, no.
6.
6. Yes, there's a window.
I'm gonna pull my sleeve up and see if I can see anything inside. Not gonna shine my flashlight just yet.
You can see what looks like an armored personnel carrier, an APC, and you can see dirt and concrete like chunks that seem to be piled up sort of next to the APC, and every now and then you think you spot little bits of more dirt, rocks, pebbles being chucked onto this pile from something past it.
I'll go first.
Cock my gun.
Stay quiet.
The
Stay
door
behind me.
The door is shut and locked.
Never mind.
I holster my weapon and I put
Crowbar.
my crusty crowbar into the
Your crusty
my
crowbar.
crusty crowbar.
Okay, we'll have you make a body check. And I'm going to ask Lai if
Okay.
they're doing any specific checks, looking for anything specific, or doing a
Dash a
general
double.
Doubles.
doubles on a success or a failure.
Success.
Okay, so critical success.
Fuck yeah. So Lai's gonna be wandering around. Everything's turned off, so it can't really get any readings off of any machines, but just like going through paperwork. And then remind me, so there's like webbing.
Yes, so you're in the like computer bank area,
Yeah.
and then past the locked door and the glass wall is a sort of operating room where you
Gotcha.
saw the samples, that lead canister, and webbing that had fused some of the machinery together had broken like I can't remember what it was called, but it was like a med pod that would restore wounds, but it's broken, stuff like that.
Okay, and then are there any like people shapes? Like cocoons, and also blood visible
I'm gonna say
in the red light. That might be hard. I don't know why I did that sing-songy until the end there.
I think as you're looking through for signs of human life struggle, corpses, anything like that, you don't spot any, but you do see there's an upturned surgical bed, and sticking up beneath it is a meter-long, black, crab-like limb.
Oh, shit.
That ends in a claw.
Okay. And that door's locked, and I can't get into it.
Correct.
Okay. And there was webbing out here. That's how I got that sample earlier.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to go through shit at the computer banks until I can get that door open.
Okay. Yeah, you're testing computers, seeing if there's any way you could reroute power and stuff like that. On a critical success, Hurley, you not only get the door open, but you do so quietly.
I was just about to ask.
You get it open just enough for an auto release on the backup emergency power to take over, and it slides open seamlessly. This one's less rusted as it's been inside the whole time. So yes, you see the APC. You see a large mound of dirt and concrete rubble. Yes?
Does the android? Do you still have the logbook from from Dr. Edom?
Yes.
Can I flip through that and see if there's any entries about, towards the end about maybe why the power went out?
I think you'd notice that the logs in the book stop about 3 months ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, wow.
It's been a while. Okay.
All right, we're gonna head that way towards the power supply. I'm gonna keep an eye on the mound very quietly. And I start making military gestures to move forward.
Before we enter the room, I make sure to pull off some necessary tools that might need... that I might need to fix this, so that
a little welder, a little.
So I've got them handy instead of jangling around my belt.
Okay. As you are moving around, you see a fallen power line that strips from the ceiling and dips sort of over this hill of concrete, like slag. You manage to locate a tool bench as you're sort of going around the outsides. You see some barrels of something, and you find the backup generator, which appears offline at the moment and does not appear to have fuel.
I'm going to sniff test the barrels.
It smells acrid. Do you think this is space gasoline?
Perfect. All right.
Perfect.
I'm going to try and fashion a siphon and start
Suck it over.
sucking it over. Yeah.
I could do that for you.
I'm like in the middle of making it, and then I make eye contact with you, and I'm like, yeah.
I can't taste.
Do you got lungs to suck with?
You open your mouth, and a clear, like, silicone tube proboscis comes out of your mouth and can dip into the barrels.
Where's the other side of the tube?
You don't want to know.
You just have to sit on top of the generator and dump it in.
Their pants get damp.
I'm going to have all of you make a body check.
Wonderful.
Body save, forgive me.
Is that just us three, or is that literally
Just you
everyone?
three. And this is just to do everything that you're doing quietly, basically.
Okay. Oh no.
I'm sucking a bit too loud, I think.
I'm trying to fashion the.
I'm the only one that's being quiet.
Yeah, you're two mechanical people over here. I'm not used to being quiet when working on machines.
What did y'all roll?
I rolled a 16.
I rolled a 78.
Oh, you got a 95. So that's a fail.
You're like,
Yeah.
The
You hear a
machine's
loud
weird,
pump.
but yeah.
So take a stress as you fail a check. Or a save.
oh,
rather.
I also take a stress, right?
Yes.
Damn it.
And yeah, you're just going through this like tool bench that you found, and it's making quite a bit more noise
you drop
than you expected.
a whole jar of nuts and bolts on the ground.
and it's glass, so it explodes, and then the nuts roll everywhere.
Oh, and nuts.
Caltrops.
Aw, nuts.
You guys make a little bit more noise than you were anticipating, and you all kind of stop in a moment, listening to see what happens. And the knock continues at a steady pace, echoing loud through this chamber.
And the thing in the hall.
Nothing seems to have noticed you. Lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find it creepier that nothing happened.
That nothing happened.
You
Yep,
are
agreed.
digging around in the computers, the desks, looking for anything that you can get working without some kind of power. And you find a recorder. A little, recorder that they would use during an autopsy, anything.
Yeah, just a little digital recorder.
Not what I
Yes.
thought it was. I
Entry
thought
52.
literally the instrument just.
Yeah. I play a chime and a door magically opens. That's my mysticism, you know?
Yeah.
True.
Are you Link?
Yeah.
Song of Storms is what caused all the... so yeah, what do you do?
So yeah, I press play and I listen.
You press play, and you hear a sound that echoes in your skull as you hear it.
And then I press stop.
You press stop. I am going to need you to make a sanity save.
Go.
As the goat jump scares us.
Goat, I'm scared. The heck.
I succeed.
You succeed, okay. You feel this shriek like an earworm try to root itself in your mind, echoing off the inside of your skull, but you manage to shake it off, almost by forcing yourself to not think of it, and you find, as you open your eyes again, that you have been clutching the stop button for some time, and you don't know how long it stopped while you were still hearing it in your head.
I'm gonna turn and look at Cortez and Scott.
They were both clutching their heads as you played it, and they look up. One of them has a nosebleed, but they kind of wipe it and look at it. They seem shaken, especially Scott's. Cortez just goes, "Don't fucking turn that thing on again, please."
Yeah, I wasn't planning on it. That was oogly spooky. So yeah, that's what they were referencing in that chart that we read earlier. Or dossier, whatever the fuck.
The crab song?
Crab song, yeah. Fucking
Shit. Don't play that at my funeral.
okay. I'm gonna put this in my utility belt.
Write down recorder with crab song. Everyone in the garage, you have
Yes.
gotten fuel back into the power generator. You have made enough noise, you think, to alert whatever's causing that sound under y'all's assumption that it's something that can hear you and then run at you. But nothing seems to have happened. What is everyone doing in this moment of silence as y'all are tensely waiting for shit to hit the fan?
Turn it on.
Before we turn, I stop real quick and I just go, let me do a quick diagnostic check so we don't blow ourselves up. And I begin just going around it, make sure there's no leaks or...
Machine repair. This is intelligence.
Nice.
Yep, that'll do.
Hell yeah. You do a once-over. You believe that the garage itself might not get power back, but because of that downed power line. But you think the rest of the base, at the very least the rooms you guys have been to, should be on the grid once this thing starts up.
Okay. Would you like to do the honors?
You can do the honors.
It begins rumbling. The lights flicker and pulse, but nothing much changes in this room. And immediately you begin hearing like party music begin playing from the commissary that you guys left. You remember there was a banner on the ceiling and smashed plates and stuff. You think there might have been
Shit.
some kind of party.
Oh, fuck.
God damn it.
So there's this sort of haunting, disco hip hop space music that is playing throughout this, and every now and again you hear "Happy birthday, happy birthday."
Oh yeah, it's a birthday.
I need everyone to make a fear save with advantage.
I assume that includes me.
Yes, as this sound makes you jump. Yeah.
Does that mean it's null?
Oh yeah, it's null because your android is near you, except for you. You still roll at advantage because you're
I
an
feel
independent.
23.
Success.
45.
Is that a failure?
Yes.
That's a stress.
I fear.
You fear, that's a stress. Remember, if you roll doubles on a failure, it's a crit failure.
I fear non-critically.
Okay, so that's a stress.
You're non-critically.
as this disco party music spooks you. Aside from that, the knocking still continues. You hear the of rocks being thrown onto the pile, but nothing seems to change.
I'm gonna go to the rocks.
I'm following you.
You creeping over to the rocks.
I'm gonna switch my weapon though. Somebody had to have been carrying the
My-
SMG.
I mean, I've got a trank dart.
Okay, Could I have been carrying the SMG? Okay, so I'm gonna grab that
yeah.
off my back.
My
and make
machine
sure that's
gun
loaded.
can fire around corners, so I'm assuming I can
Oh,
see
Ooh.
around the corner. So we're gonna
Okay.
approach the pile, and I'm gonna
So-
stick it over to one side and then orient it towards
The whole stock
whole-
bends in half.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the scope makes it like a mirror point so you can look around the corner.
Yeah.
So you guys begin approaching the rock pile. And you're-
Scooby-Doo heads stacked on top of each other.
one of them is the barrel of a gun. And you poke around and look down into the pit. You can see standing in a puddle of water a Marine digs relentlessly, completely ignoring their surroundings. They are reaching into the water and scooping with bloody stumps of hands with exposed finger bone and scooping up just piles of rocks and wet soil and mud and throwing it haphazard over their shoulder onto this big pile of rocks. They're just sort of muttering under their breath and
I don't think that's a Marine anymore.
Can I try and figure out what he's saying?
absolutely.
I've got linguistics.
Yeah, make a linguistics check to try to determine what this person is
So
saying.
that's intellect plus my 10.
Mhm.
Okay. So 45.
45. Is that under your
Yes.
stuff? Hell yes. So you turn up the gain on your ears, and you're able to tune into what he's saying by reading his lips. You see subtitles appear in the bottom of your vision, and he says, I want to go back. I want to go back to the hive. I can hear them. I can hear them. They're calling me. I need to contribute. I need to contribute. They will wake. They're awakening. They will wake. They're awakening.
I relay this to my comrades.
Yeah, that's definitely not a Marine anymore.
Yeah, that's not a Marine anymore. I agree.
Does that mean we gotta terminate?
Terminate any hostiles. I aim.
You aim your gun.
I'll aim with you.
Lie.
Yo, what's up?
Are you doing anything in this moment? Cortez and Scots are still watching the doors. They're watching up the hallway. They're listening to the knocking sound. They've
your
noticed
power
the
comes
power
on.
has come back on.
Power's back on. I'm like typing away, and I'm trying to get things turned on and like access the computers. Try to see if the door will
You're like,
open.
I did it.
Yeah, I did it. No, I knew you guys were going in.
Absolutely.
Control Alt Delete.
You managed to get into the pewters. I'm gonna have you make a check, an intelligence-based check, and if you can convince me there's an appropriate skill.
Botany?
I don't think so.
No, I don't have 36.
36.
So yeah, I crush it.
Okay. I'm gonna read some stuff now.
Oh yay! I'm listening with my ears.
Ears open.
Dr. Edam's exobiology reports. 001. Summary. Prepare for exposition.
Yay!
The recent exposition led by Science Officer Hinton has discovered a remarkable alien arthropod on Samsa 6. The survey team has documented the creature, describing it as a large, six-legged and six-armed creature, equipped with sharp teeth and formidable claws. This alien species exhibits unique biological traits and is of significant interest to the exobiology team. Further examination of the arthropod data has led me to classify the creature as a carcinid. Physical description. The creature has a robust exoskeleton, providing structural support and protection. It possesses 6 legs, facilitating efficient locomotion over diverse terrains, 6 arms equipped with claws, hinting at a potential predatory or defensive behaviors. Behavioral observations. The most striking observed feature was the emission of a high-pitched acoustic shriek. The purpose of this sound is yet to be determined, but it may serve as communication, defense, or perhaps a method to stun prey, as it had an effect on Lieutenant Corporal Xavier. After the creature used what Hinton is calling Kriebsleider, or crab song, the creature retreated into the jungle with great speed. Conclusion. The discovery of this carcinid is a significant milestone. For our understanding of life on this planet, continued exploration and study is necessary, and any findings could have broader implications for exobiology and the exciting advances in biological applications for the company. Dr. Francis Edam, lead exobiologist, Greta Base.
So is that a total of 6 arms? 6 limbs?
12 limbs, 6
Okay.
arms, 6 legs.
Nasty. For me doodling purposes, is that like 6 in the front, 6 in the back, or is that like every other?
We'll say like maybe a Lethal Company style green-lined polygonal reconstruction, like approximate
Okay, good,
reconstruction of what they saw. So you'd know 2 vaguely I don't know what the shape is, but like a UFO, you know, the like oval with 2 of those, one like rib cage, one like torso, 6 at the bottom, 6 at the top as arms and legs.
No, thank you.
That hourglass, though.
Yes, exactly.
At least it got figured.
Report 002. Summary. Following the recent discovery of the alien carcinid, it was observed that Lieutenant Corporal Xavier, a member of the expedition team, began exhibiting unusual symptoms after exposure to the phenomenon referred to as the crab song. This report details the subsequent medical findings and implications of her condition. Initial symptoms. Reported dizziness and auditory hallucinations shortly after carcinid encounter. Symptoms became more extreme, leading to a state of unconsciousness. Upon arrival in the Greta base medbay, an examination revealed Xavier had fallen into a brief coma. Advanced imaging and diagnostics tests uncovered the presence of an alien parasitic entity, identified as carcinid larvae, incubating within her. Larvae origin, suspected to originate from the shriek, admitted by the alien carcinid. I hypothesize as a reproductive or defensive strategy.
What the fuck?
Larvae development. Specimen exhibits a rapid incubation period, suggesting a highly adaptive and potentially aggressive reproductive cycle. Larvae appears to rapidly metabolize latent cancer cells and grows at a rate that exceeds our current understandings of the laws of energy conservation. Treatment and outcome. Immediate measures were taken to stabilize Lieutenant Corporal Xavier, including isolation and intensive monitoring. A dose of chemotherapeutic doxorubicin was administered. At this stage, surgery was not advised as we were unable to confidently ensure Xavier's well-being should we attempt invasive measures to extract the larvae. Implications and recommendations. Further research to understand the carcinid's reproductive and defensive behaviors, particularly the crab song. Rapid growth patterns in the larvae are of great interest to the exobiological team and could have exciting research opportunities in multiple fields. It is recommended that all personnel undergo thorough medical screenings post-exposure to potential alien biohazards. Extermination of any carcinids is advised to protect company assets. Dr. Francis Edom, lead exobiologist, Greta Base.
Hey guys, this door needs to be open right now.
Gotcha. They move over and start working on a way to get it open.
Is it unlocked, or like powered now? Or
it is powered, but is keycard locked.
Okay.
There is a third entry.
Okay.
But we're going to cut to them before we get to the third.
Okay.
I shoot.
You fire. I'm gonna cover in case it lunges or tries to move out of shot range.
Gotcha.
Not that I'm a great shot, but
Damn, really calling them an it.
So you are going to roll.
they are multiple now. They are part
What
of
is
the hive.
gunshot plus? What does that mean when it has a plus?
Advantage.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
cool.
that means when you deal a wound to something, it rolls on the gunshot thing, a gunshot wound, and it rolls twice and takes the worst result. So that means you particularly
Cool.
do a nasty gunshot wound most of the time.
Love that.
Also, I should note, as we're getting into combat, any weapons that are automatic, like the SMG, unless you have military training, you will blow the entire clip at once. So you have 5 mags on you. That means every time you shoot, it's a mag, unless you have military training, and then you can shoot up to 5 times.
There was another SMG that has 3.
Yeah.
But
That's
I'm
the one that I've
assuming-
got.
Okay, so you have that
But
one.
I'm not gonna fire unless I absolutely have to.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
so,
I am firing.
yes, Larry Scoops, Lieutenant Scoops, go ahead and make a combat check as you blast at this thing.
I'm an expert in firearms.
Yes, you are.
So I need a 69.
Nice.
Drake.
65.
Hey.
Brap. Should I roll damage?
Yes.
Yeah, 17.
17 points of damage.
Yeah.
You fire, and you watch as bullets rip up the back and the side of this Marine, who shudders at the impact. You watch as fresh blood begins running down their military fatigues, and for a moment, they don't react. And then they begin to violently shudder, their head twists to one side. You watch as they open their mouth, but no sound comes out. And you hear a...
Oh no. Oh fuck.
you hear a horrid sound.
Oh yeah, we're fucked now.
As a admittedly larger than you anticipated, larger than makes sense to fit inside this thing, like watching a spider shed its skin. You watch as this many-limbed creature with no apparent eyes, just more like a domed sort of head, and then a wide mouth of pointed teeth beneath, with 6 long crab-like limbs that are chomping and tearing away at flesh so it can burrow its way out of this person's body. Their head rolls back and the skin rips and slides and falls to the ground behind them as the carcinid emerges and shrieks. I need everybody to make a sanity save.
Oh my god, my sanity is so low.
As the crab song sings in your ears.
I did such a good job drawing crab eyes on my little doodle, and now I had to erase them and add sharp teeth. The fuck?
Actually, I think the teeth looks... I think in this instance, perhaps the teeth are somewhat humanoid. Sharper incisors spread wider throughout the gums more than they should be.
And is that between the two, or is that like in the top part?
Here's
or-
a fully grown one.
Oh, cool. Ew.
You can pass this around the table. This is what a fully grown one looks
Okay.
like, for your reference.
Oh, no, thank you. That's a whole lot of nope. It looks like it has staplers as some of its hands.
Yeah. Oh, look at its
Yeah,
back.
no, thank you. Oh.
Bitch is swole.
This was in a dude?
I drew a Digimon. This is a fucking monstrosity.
This was in a dude? I think this was the dude.
Dude, I wish
He's
it was
bigger
in
on the
me.
inside.
Well, because he just
I
seemed like a
think-
dude at
yeah.
first.
Well, it was, and now
And then
there's
this
no dude
thing
in
came
it.
And just
out.
imagine, that was inside that dude all along.
That was in a
That
dude?
was in a dude?
That was
The android goes, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, so in Mothership, the rules that they give you for like combat is I describe the threat. Everyone tells me how they're going to react, and then we kind of resolve it simultaneously. But if we prefer, because we're D&D minded, we can also roll speed to get like a rigid initiative order. No, go for the freeform. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do the system.
Roll
Hell
it.
yes. You see the carcinid having
That was not cool.
the carcinid having burst from this marine has turned to find the source of the bullets and is beginning to try and tear its way up this mound of rocks and is just going to start slashing at whatever it finds first. What are y'all doing in response? Are you trying to get out of the way?
As soon as it started to shed the marine's body, I'm gonna fire in.
You're blasting.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm firing.
Gerald?
I am also blasted.
I'm blasting again. Round 2.
I did fail my sanity.
Gerald is, if the guns don't work, going to try and trank dart it at the very least, because that's...
Okay.
What the fuck am I supposed to do about this?
Hell
Just
yeah.
a load of clip of tranks into
You're
it.
just like, I'm leaving.
I will, because part of me wants to see if the trank dart can even pierce, like, exoskeleton. Like,
Yeah.
Is
This thing has
even...
like a thick, dark, sort of like matte brown black exoskeleton.
If anything, I'll try and get it in the mouth.
Okay.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't
okay.
know.
So we got Gerald doing trank gun. We have Rosebud doing SMG fire. And then are you just opening fire with your machine gun again?
Machine gun.
Okay.
Also, I got a 6 on my sanity save.
Okay, that's a success.
I
We both failed.
So take a stress.
Did.
Okay.
And as the gunfire is ringing in your ears, in between the impacts and explosions of each bullet is the shriek still ringing like tinnitus in the back of your mind.
Super fun.
You guys open fire. Everyone go ahead and make combat checks to blast this thing to high heaven.
While we're doing this, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
About morality of androids and their role in this world.
Absolutely.
Did they die, like fully die, or would it be partly my job to fix androids? And
Oh,
do they retain memory? Do they change if they are
I think
taken
I've got like a
offline?
chip.
yeah, they would have like a local memory like any computer.
Okay.
The recovery of their memory could be considered important, but you're not going to get fined, I don't think, if the android gets destroyed.
Okay, yeah,
on a
and
mission.
then again, and then another question. Like what is the social standing of androids? Like,
Androids are unnerving to people, but they're almost always like a corporate liaison. Like they're put on missions,
okay.
you know.
We're
if
like a
anyone's-
useful tool.
Exactly. If anyone's super loyal to the company, it's a robot because they don't have a choice.
True.
But they're here mainly as a utility tool to interface with technology to go through complex calculations where people can't.
And I
Stuff
guess
like
my question is, in dire situations, do most teams end up kind of sacrificing the android first?
I think they're
It's just a morality question.
at the very
in
least they're
this point.
usually not that upset if the android gets
Okay.
destroyed, unless
Noted.
it was a
Not that I'm
particularly
plotting
shocking
to
one.
kill you. I'm just thinking about our options.
I think it really does come
Our
down
options,
to the person.
to kill you.
Your options, not mine.
True. But I'm at least a mechanic that I could get the part of you that's important and
yeah.
get you out of there, but you could...
Um,
Don't think it's going to come to that, but, gotta know the answers to these questions.
Gerald, what'd you get on your combat?
2.
2. God damn.
Ooh.
And then Rosebud, what'd you get?
I got 14.
14. Gotcha.
11.
11. Those are all successes.
And a crit success.
That is a critical success. So go ahead and roll your damage, all of you, as you unanimously open fire.
Just rip this bitch apart.
So I got a 3
3 damage.
for
Okay.
and then it says body save or be unconscious for 1d10 rounds.
Understood.
I got 9 damage.
9 damage.
27.
3,
Fuck
9,
yeah.
and 27. Okay, and it's going to make a body save.
So 39.
And it does take gunshot, wounds.
Oh, do you multiply it? Did I miss that rule?
No.
No, I roll 4
Oh, you
for my
roll
gun.
4 for
Different
the...
gun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you all blast this thing, and you watch as initially bullets are ricocheting, are skimming, are taking off maybe small chips and chinks in this thing's exoskeleton. Your dart does seem to hit a soft spot, and it... You watch as eventually you all focus fire the SMG and the machine gun on one spot, and a big crack runs up the back of this thing's shell. You watch as black blood begins to ooze out, and it lets out another scream, and it begins to scuttle away. It starts fleeing towards an air vent. Are you all doing anything about this?
Shoot.
Just
Shoot
blasting.
again. Blasting again.
Gotcha. So
it
that's
stays away from the vent.
second clip for your SMG.
Yeah, so
going
we're
into
down
this.
to-
Is it possible to try and lasso it with my paracord?
You want to use your paracord?
Keep it in place, keep it from running away?
Down to
Yeah,
one
I'll say
man.
make a combat check. This thing is going to roll against you to contest.
Oh, no.
That's a 99?
That's a 99.
That's a critical failure. So I need you to mark a stress and make a panic check.
Do we roll another combat as well?
Yes, because you're blasting. Cool.
Yes. 19.
19. All right.
94.
94. That's a failure. Mark a stress.
So for panic checks, how does that work?
You roll a d20 and you want to get above, equal to or above your current stress.
Okay.
Do you panic?
Yep.
Okay.
I rolled a 3.
Give me the d20, or you can roll the d20 to determine what your panic effect is.
Oh, no.
Also take
The
note.
robot's panicking.
Take note of your trauma response if that affects this in any way. I think yours
I don't
doesn't.
think so. No.
Mm-mm.
It's a 12.
It's a 12. Okay. I think on a 12, the second shriek that this thing does as it's fleeing gets to you. And begins reverberating in your mind as well.
My machinery's like buzzing.
It's like now that the memory of the sound is digital, you can't quite purge it from your brain. You can't quite stop thinking about it the way a person might be able to. But y'all start blasting at this thing as it tries to scuttle away. The paracord whips around this thing, but with frantic snaps of its claws, it clips several feet off of the end of it and continues to scuttle towards this vent. Combat checks to blast it again.
I got 19.
19 success, and I think yours was a failure. 94,
Yeah,
right?
it was a 94.
Okay. So roll for damage.
12.
12 damage. Gotcha. And it is still alive, but it scuttles, and you watch as its legs, again, like a spider's is what I'm picturing, as it squeezes into a small space, and all kind of collapse behind it, and you hear it moving around in the vents. And we stop this combat
Shit,
for
move.
the moment.
We got to get back to the med bay.
Back in the med bay. You're reading the final of Dr. Edam's notes. Sorry, there are 2 left. Fuck. Exobiology report number 3. Summary. In response to the recent medical incident with Lieutenant Corporal Xavier, this report delves into the suppression of the carcinid larvae utilizing doxorubicin to target the metabolization of cancerous cells. Observation. Doxorubicin worked effectively in targeting the hyperactive metabolic pathways to the larvae. Invasive surgical procedures to remove the larvae are not advised at this time. Post-administration, the larvae's growth rate was significantly reduced, stabilizing Lieutenant Corporal Xavier's condition. Discovery. Further research by myself and assisted by Science Officer Hinton highlights the crab song as an acoustic mimetic virus with the capability of influencing cellular metabolism in other creatures. Mechanism and effect. The crab song induces a state where latent cancer cells are rapidly metabolized, providing an energy source for the larvae. The virus seems to alter cellular processes through an as of yet unidentified biomechanical mechanisms. This discovery opens a new dimension to understanding alien acoustic communications and their psychological impacts. Dr. Francis Edom, lead exobiologist, Greta Base. Report number 4, the final one. Summary. In a recent development, the acquisition of 4 additional larvae from infected native fauna on Samsa 6 has provided further insights into the reproductive mechanisms and psychological traits of the carcinid. Physiological, not psychological. This follow-up report examines the outcomes and implications of surgically removing the larvae, supporting our hypothesis of the fatal nature of such interventions. The new larvae were procured during an expedition into the surrounding environs northwest of Greta Base and Hera terraforming station. The larvae were found within several native species, suggesting a broad transmission capability of the carcinid's reproductive strategy. The native hosts exhibited symptoms similar to those observed in Lieutenant Corporal Xavier, including altered metabolic states. Surgical intervention outcomes. Surgical extraction was performed on all 4 larvae to determine viability outside the host organism. Each removal resulted in immediate cessation of biological functions of the host. Post-mortem analysis indicated a breakdown in cellular integrity upon separation from the host, underscoring the complexity of their symbiotic relationship. Observe physical nature of larvae. Hardened exoskeleton that provides both protection and structural support. Even at the larval stage, it exhibits great tensile, shear, and compressive strength. They possess a highly efficient digestive system adapted for rapid metabolism of host tissues. 12 limb nubs. Initial stages of developmental limbs. Conclusion. The successful identification and acquisition of additional larvae from local fauna provide critical data on the reproductive strategies of the alien carcinid. While surgical removal has proven fatal to the hosts, these studies pave a way for developing new approaches to safely manage and study these organisms within their native environments. Dr. Francis Edom, lead exobiologist, Greta Base.
Okay, so synopsis. Doxorubicin stops it from exploding.
Doxorubicin, yes, is a treatment that seems to stabilize at the very moment.
Beautiful.
It seemed like recurring treatments.
Yeah, and that is chemo, so it will kill you eventually. Yes. And then cutting it out kills you.
Yes.
More research needs to be done. So right now, I'm just trying to get in, scan each of our heads, see if it's in us, and then find treatment, and then later on, we'll hopefully fucking start blowing up animal brains.
Hell yeah. It's about this time, I think, that you'd hear heavy footfalls as the rest of your crew comes back looking harried. You definitely heard gunfire. And so you're maybe a little surprised to see all of them here.
Oh, you're alive. Good. Crowbar now.
We have a hostile in the vents.
Oh, lovely. Did you guys happen to hear any, like, screeching crab song shit?
Yeah, it's still stuck in my head.
Yeah, you have a baby in you.
What the fuck?
My eyes get wide and I just look straight forward.
Yeah, we need to get in here so that we can make that not explode your head.
Oh, fantastic. Well, trusty crowbar, don't fail me now.
Advantage, body with the associated skill, machine repair.
And you guys didn't find any key cards?
No, but we turned on the power.
28.
Good job.
Door is...
Success. So you... This thing busts open. This thing, I think you would know, is a little heavier duty, maybe meant for quarantine in extreme cases. But you managed to pop the seal, get in with like a saw or two or something, and you cut through a lock, and eventually it gives way and opens into the observation area proper, where everything's fucked and destroyed and covered in webs and stuff.
What, are the lights on?
The lights are on.
Ah, thank
you
God.
have power. You see a Litkovich MedPod 1080A broken. You see a Sato T3 bioprinter broken. You see empty stem cell cartridges. You see the lead container, and you see 4 large specimen containment tubes. And then there's the upturned surgical bed, which has a crab-like limb that would look familiar to you three who just witnessed the carcinage.
Yeah.
Are there any, like, opened vents?
You can see an air vent behind the bed. Yeah, it's not open.
It's not open? Okay, cool. Wonder where that went. Looks around to make sure there's not a fucking crab in here.
Okay, yeah, you begin looking around. You do not see, other than the crab leg on the ground, you do not see any carcinids hiding.
Grab the samples.
Er-
We should prepare for immediate evacuation.
First, hey, Gerard, can you find something to get scanning inside of people's heads? And I'm going to... I start, like, digging through med storage.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna computer check.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move something heavy in front of the vent.
Okay,
Push
gotcha.
something so that it's.
There's a few.
Is that another 99?
Yeah.
Okay, so take a stress and make a panic check.
Jesus Christ.
What the
We're
fuck?
freaking out the robot. He's starting to wig.
Robert.
I look at Scoops. The digital shrieking cannot be purged. I can still hear the singing.
Oh,
It will
fuck.
not stop.
It affects robots, too? Shit.
Oh, not this one.
Okay.
Did it say how long?
How long the
Yeah.
process took? I think... Let me see.
I rolled another 12.
Another 12. Damn. Well, that's a success.
Is it?
Yeah, because you want to roll above your panic.
Oh, right.
You think that with the use of the chemicals and stuff, they were able to sate it for, let's say, about 78 hours.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
If you're still hearing that in your head, I might be able to check to see if I could. Do you have any kind of backups that are set before, say, when we came into the med pod the first time?
I think my backups would be on the ship.
Yeah, I think maybe you'd need to get into like a charging pod or something to be able to fully...
I can't
Reinstall.
purge the data from here.
Damn.
Okay, you're going through computers and looking around in medical stuff. You find that the lead container is full of hydrofluoric acid, as well as the 4 large specimen containment tubes. You see syringes, you see scalpels and various cutting implements. You see some saws as well, like some bone saws. I think you would find 1 dose of the doxorubicin, of the chemotherapeutic drugs.
Fucking wonderful. And without doxorubicin chemical intervention, how long does the head crab take to explode?
They'd estimate anywhere between 5 and 50 hours.
Cool. Okay. Alrighty. And we don't have any tools here to scan inside of our heads. All right. Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here so that we can get to some proper medical equipment.
Okay.
Sounds good.
You all, I need everyone here to make a fear save, as you all immediately hear a loud pounding against the vent that you have barricaded.
Y'all are at disadvantage.
Y'all are at disadvantage because of your bot.
And this is fear?
Fear, correct.
19.
22.
Critical failure, and I failed the panic.
You failed the panic as well? Okay, mark your stress. You don't gain a stress for failing a panic check, but you do for the...
Does a critical success negate the second one, or do I have to? I have to take the disadvantage, right?
You have to take the disadvantage. Yeah, you have to
Damn
take
it!
the lower
I got
result.
a 22, and then I got a 52. So.
Oof. Okay, so that's a failure.
Yep.
So mark your stress.
Shit.
I am good.
Okay. Roll a d20 for your panic effect.
Oh, 3.
3, gotcha. You are jumpy. Take a +1 to stress. All close crew members +2 to stress.
We get the plus
So
two.
everybody.
Yeah, everybody gets +2. Lai gets +1.
Oh, okay.
Can I, at this point, as we're starting to hear the banging, take my? Would I have like ear guards for when I'm doing heavy machinery fixing?
Make a luck check. 6 or above, you have sound muffling like headphones.
8.
8.
Yes.
You
Putting
do.
those motherfuckers on right now.
Muffle all the sound as quickly as possible. Maybe you do that in response to the scream that Lai lets out, making everyone else additionally stressed. And you assume it's the crab song when you hear it.
Just immediately just like, nope, 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 nope.
Yes, this thing, you see the heavy med pod that you pushed in front of the vent beginning to shake and screech as it shifts inch by inch slowly as this thing is trying to bust out of the
Let's
vent.
go. Get out.
Run, 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 run. Boom. I'm going to need you all to make a speed check.
And I might
am
be able
speed.
to shut the door.
Oh, no.
Pretty
Oh, no.
rough failure there, partner.
Why'd you give me these dice?
Is that a... Okay, that's not another 99.
Oh no, but
No.
fuck. thought
I
it was
also
for a
failed.
second.
I failed.
Okay, that's a stress.
Oh, right. Oh, fuck.
You all... sorry, what did Lai get on their speed?
Failure.
That's a failure. So that's everybody.
We just all run, try to
Yeah.
get through the door at the same time.
Yeah, we all just...
You watch as the med pod is thrown to the side as a number of long, spindly, knobby legs reach out and push it, and this thing comes crawling out of the vent already larger than when you last saw it. And it scuttles across the ground and is going to make combat against Cortez and Scots, who were
Thank
the last
God.
ones through the door.
I mean, oh no, Scott's Cortez.
Success.
My boys.
Success.
My boy. My boys.
Father, help.
Father, help.
That's successes on both of them. So you watch as Cortez takes a step forward and begins opening fire with his machine gun. This thing's cracked carapace does provide for bullets to pass through. You guys seem to have done damage to its armor, making it easier to actually hurt. However, the machine gun fire from both Scots and Cortez is not quite enough, as it's with a furious swipe of many, many limbs, you watch as Scots is just shredded. One across the throat, several down across the abdomen, one across the gut, one straight down the side, cleaving an arm, and Scots screams and squelches as he falls to the ground. I need everyone to make, I think just take one stress as you watch someone die in front of you.
Can I turn and open fire with my last mag?
Absolutely. So yes, this thing is beginning to give chase. It's turning its sights on Cortez and the rest of you. What are you doing to combat this? Are you continuing to run? Are you turning to blast to try to buy time or kill it?
I'm gonna. If we're all out of the med bay, can I try and close that door?
You want to shut the door on it?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what you're doing. Lai, are you doing anything specific?
Running the fuck away.
Okay, full sprint. Gerald?
I want to make sure we grab the samples.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we did
Okay.
That's what we picked up.
Okay.
samples and any sort
So
of.
you've got them in
recording.
arm. You're just taking
Yeah.
care of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Lai and Gerald would have been the ones to grab all the medical stuff.
I take a knee, brace myself while Larry? Yeah.
Larry
While-
Scoops.
Larry Scoops. I take a knee and I open fire with the last mag that I've got to
Absolutely.
try and hold us off while Larry gets the door shut.
Okay, so combat check from Rosebud.
I can
Larry.
make an athletics.
Yes, I'll have you make a body or strength. Forgive me, a strength check if you have any associated skills. That's
yeah,
great.
athletics.
Hell yes. Lai, you're running, so make a speed. Gerald, are you running? Are you? Because we've got the samples. You could be helping someone else with their action or taking a specific one of your own.
That's a failure.
I want to make sure the samples
no.
get out.
Okay, so you're sort of helping run with Lai then. So you can either make your own speed check or give Lai advantage if you wished.
I critically succeeded.
Oh hell yes.
I'll,
Okay,
I'll make my own.
gotcha.
That's a 39.
39. What's your speed?
27.
27. Okay, so that's a failure. Take a stress.
What happened? Is there anything that happens with stress the more you get, aside from just?
It's a death spiral.
Yeah. Yeah, basically it just makes it harder and harder for you to do things. You'll
Okay,
panic
'cause
more
I'm
often.
currently at a 10.
Yeah.
I'm at
Yep,
12.
I'm at 10.
11.
Cool.
Sounds about right.
I did hit.
Okay, so you success on your combat, failure on getting the door shut, right?
Yeah.
And then critical success on the speed check, and then a
Yeah.
failure from Gerald. What'd you get for damage?
9.
9 points of damage. Okay, you blast into this thing. It shrieks, not quite the crab song, but it shrieks in response to the pain. Larry trying to get the door shut. You are pulling the emergency close release. You're trying to get the door shut on this thing, but its strength, as you feel it resist the push of the door, is something you have not experienced before in all the many people that you've wrestled or hand-to-hand fought. And so immediately you're just like, oh shit, I don't know how much I could take this thing if it gets like on me, which stresses you out a little bit. Lie. You managed to get all the way back out to the commissary. You can hear, "Do you remember the 24th night?" Playing over the radio, and you can see there are some lights on now, some like festive, colorful lights that makes maybe running through the space a little disorienting. You could see a big banner that says "Happy Birthday, Olson." It says Olson with 2 S's. That's in the book. It says "Happy Birthday, Olson." You can see now in the reflective light as you're sprinting.
Incredible.
You can see the front door. It is still open. Gerald, you failed your speed check, so I think that means you are moving, but at this thing's shrieks of pain, you feel something maybe closest to an emotion in ever. You think you are trying to diagnose this separate command that's coming unbidden into your brain, but you almost feel sympathy for the sounds of pain from this carcinid as it is being riddled with bullets. And I think it gives you pause and you sort of stop and turn back as you realize it might be an asset of some kind. But as you all do these checks, the carcinid is enraged, and I'm going to change the music real quick since it's right on top of you.
Is it still like back in the end of the room of the
It has just gotten through the door after Larry failed to close it on them.
Oh, so because I'd been in the doorway.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's like you were like taking steps back as you're
I'm
running
firing.
fire, and Larry is trying to close it, and then too many limbs make their way through the crack and force the door open farther than you were able to get it before, and it's now in this hallway. It's going to come scuttling for any one of you. But yeah, it's basically just stepped out of the med bay proper, and you guys are in the hallway trying to make your way to the commissary or out any door you can find. So what do y'all do in this moment? Is it just a run? Is it a gun?
Are you out of mags?
Yeah, I'm fully out of mags.
Hurley, run! Cortez, on me! And we're gonna line fire at it as we are backing down the hallway.
Okay.
Make a speed check.
I'm going to make sure that Lai has the rest of the samples, and I'm going to go back.
Okay. I think you call to Lai, and you either toss the samples or you set them in the commissary and turn and make your way back to the carcinid. What are you planning on doing when you reach?
Gerald is going to tell the people that are there to plug their ears.
Okay.
And is going to play back
the crab song.
The crab song at the crab. So he calms it.
Okay.
Wait, I put my space hood up and
cover your
Space hood.
yeah, cover my ears as I'm
hood.
holding fire.
Okay.
With my big dick.
The big dick that you used to scoop.
I'm Larry Scoops.
You guys, Cortez does their best to cover their ears as they're opening fire as well, and you play the crab song back. Go ahead and make we'll say an intelligence check.
Could I do linguistics?
Yes, you could do linguistics.
I speak it.
The processing quickly learned.
It's a 5.
5, nice. You play back this crab song. You all covering your ears manage to resist it. I'm gonna roll instinct for the carcinid. Okay. You play it back, and I think you watch for a split second. It gives this thing pause as it looks at you and hears the sound come out of your mouth as you just open it and let this shriek from the speakers somewhere in your esophagus play. It pauses for a moment and then seems to shift its gaze away from you towards the soldiers that are actively shooting at it. Do you think it no longer sees you as a threat?
I'm going to step in front of them.
Okay.
Follow its gaze.
Are you guys applying trigger discipline? as Gerald steps in front of your gunfire.
I'll let the android figure it out.
Okay. Cortez.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
try and push you guys
Cortez,
back.
go follow the scientist.
Hoorah! Turns, starts running.
I'm gonna walk up to it, get closer.
Okay. You begin approaching. Your like hand out. I'm going to ask for. Let's make this a fear save.
Because I'd like to see if I can get close enough to just my last 2 trank
Trank
darts.
darts. Okay. Absolutely.
That's a 39 out of 79.
Oh yeah, fear. So yeah, you approach this thing. It's gonna make another instinct. 11. That's a critical success. So you approach this thing. You have your hand out. You're trying to play variations in pitch on the same song to see if it implies a difference in the communications you're giving. And as you get close, you watch as it tilts its head, and a spray of webbing, foam-like, comes out of its mouth and is going to try to cover you from head to toe. I need a body save to try to get out of the way and or resist the acidic effects of this. Cortez has sprinted into the back room with Lai and has scooped up the remaining samples that was left behind.
Gerald, no!
It's a 71
Out of 18.
out of 18. Okay. So you take 19 points of damage. So
So that I have 12 HP.
okay. So you take a wound, and your HP goes back up to max, and then you reduce any carryover.
7
So yeah, it would be -7 from the 12.
So you're at 5.
and 1 wound.
And you've taken a wound, so we're gonna have you roll for your wound. Roll a D10 for me. And this is a fire and explosives because it's like acid.
It's a 1.
It's a 1. You get an awesome scar. Plus,
Is it in the same spot?
we'll say it's
more
spider
of your
webs more
face.
over your face. Yeah, it's like it's spread. +1 to minimum stress. So your current stress doesn't really change, but your minimum goes up by 1.
Now your jaw is like partly exposed too, so you're gonna be
Yeah.
even more uncanny to the rest of us.
We're going to jump to Lai and Cortez first real quick and see what they're planning on doing. Still full sprinting? Are you?
Oh yeah.
I think Hurley is catched up too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
I'll have you all make speed checks once more as you run outside into the storm through the airlock out to the landing zone.
Don't we still need to find Lieutenant Kaplan?
That was on your dossier.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna make it.
53.
53.
I fail.
Okay, so take a stress. Cortez is with you. I'll
Fall
have
in
you
the
make a speed
mud.
check as well, Rosebud, as you're running.
Oh, speed check?
Yeah.
25 by success.
Okay. And then Cortez succeeds as well. So y'all are still running. You're making your way to the evac zone. Scoops, Lieutenant Scoops, and Gerald. What are you both doing as you see this thing still appears hostile? The crab song gave it pause for a moment, but it seems to know that you are prey.
It's time to go.
I'm gonna just start running.
You turn, begin to sprint.
I cover fire.
You begin spraying back. I'll have you make a combat check.
Yeah.
Or a speed check if you want to decide.
Combat.
And then I'll have you make a
Firearms.
speed check as you're sprinting.
45.
45.
99.
That's a critical failure.
Yep.
So I need you to take a stress and make a panic check. 45 out of...
27.
Okay, so that's mark of stress. Is that a success on your panic?
Nope.
That's a failure.
Yep.
Okay.
Whenever I panic, every close friendly player must also make a fear save.
So that's currently just Gerald.
Yep. Yep. Oh no.
86.
86.
So that's mark another stress. So Shen, I need you to roll another d20 for your panic effect.
14.
Sorry, what do armor points do?
Armor points mean you ignore any damage that's equal to or less than that number.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yes.
It's
Good
not
to know.
DR. It's just.
It's not DR. Some
Interesting.
armor provides DR, but
Okay.
armor points and DR are not the same thing.
Interesting.
So if I had taken 7 damage, I wouldn't have taken
Yeah,
damage.
exactly. Your armor would have just tanked it for you. Okay. On a 14 for your panic thing, as this thing is scrambling towards you, you realize how fast it is. You can see parts of its exoskeleton still molting as if it's trying to repair or grow a new one underneath. It's still growing. It scrambles across the walls as it lunges at you, and for a moment, you blink, and you're no longer in this moment. You are seeing yourself strapped to a table, screaming as something is pincing and chewing at your insides, and scientists are standing over you behind masks watching carefully. And then you come back to the moment as this thing is on top of you. It's going to strike at both of you because you failed. And it's going to make a combat check, and it has to succeed. One success on Gerald. That is actually a failure on Larry. So having just had your vision, a moment of witnessing your death, at the very least, it gives you some confidence that it's not right here, right now. And you manage to fend off this thing's pincing claws. It just takes off bits of Kevlar from your armor as you're backing away. Gerald, however, this thing gets on top of you, almost grabs your legs with some pincers as you're trying to run, and pulls you to the ground and just starts taking big chunks out of you. You take 26 points of damage.
Okay.
It rolls 4d10 for its shit.
Brutal.
Yeah.
How much damage did you take?
26.
26 minus 5 is 21. Minus 12 is...
9.
But I'm at 3, I think, if I do
You got
that.
3 wounds out of 3 wounds?
I think so, because it goes down again.
You're below.
Yeah, you take 2 wounds and then you end up at 3 HP. If you are alive at all.
So you've now taken wounds equal to your maximum wounds. I need you to make a death save. And in fact, I'll be making the death save.
Oh.
Because that's how Mothership works.
All right.
Do you need a cup?
A cup or just anything concave that's enclosed that I can use. These are both glass.
You could use the bottom of the box and just put that stuff into that stuff.
I'm rolling a d10 in the lid of a box. I'm going to flip it upside down on the table, and we're going to leave it there until someone checks on Gerald. Sees how they're doing.
Nice.
Gerald, you are taken to the ground. Large chunks of you are taking out of your physical form. You could feel vital fluids that keep you running beginning to leak out of you. And you're in an indeterminate Schrodinger-esque state until we return. Hurley, Cortez, and Lai. You're all still sprinting. You have made it back outside. You're rushing to the landing zone.
Before we leave, can I was it actively chasing or...
You think it's being held up by Gerald and Scoops
on
at
the
moment.
other side of the commissary?
Yeah, they're down a hallway from you. Yeah,
Okay.
past a door and around a corner.
And so we're through the commissary in another hallway towards the exit. Okay. Am I... have I passed any terminals at all? Because power's been restored through here, right?
Yes, I think so. You would see, as you come through here, you see the terminal leading to the command center. You would see the mall, like you are here sign, but it seems interactive now somewhat. Like you could get info on the various rooms and stuff if you were to touch at it.
Is there any kind of, on either any of computers around or on this thing, any way to do a scan of living life forms? Yeah. Of life.
Yeah, I think give me either computers or machine repair as you are looking, and this will be intelligence based.
Okay.
So this is what you're doing during this moment in combat. Lai, still sprinting fully outside. Cortez is following you with the rest of the samples. What'd you get?
17.
17. That is a success. You can sense that you can tell that the storm is still affecting comms and scans. However, localized just inside the building, you can see no blip for the droid, of course, but you can see 2 blips that are sort of on top of each other, which you believe to be Scoops and the Carcinid. You could see another blip in the garage. And
but nothing in the command center?
I'll double check, but I believe so. What'd you roll total on your check again?
I rolled a 17.
17?
Yeah.
I think you would note organic signatures, but not living. One of them in the command center and one of them in the freezer.
If it's in the freezer, I'm going to assume that it's dead. And so at that point, I just start hoofing it to go catch up with Lai.
Okay.
And Cortez?
Yes. Speed roll from Lai and Cortez as they're running.
Success.
Critical failure for Cortez.
Ooh.
I'm going to borrow your D20 real quick. I got to make a panic check. Cortez is fine.
Can I help
keeps
him
cool.
up as I...
Yeah,
run past him?
you catch up to him because he fails his speed check. You hoist him to his feet. He's like got mud covering the specimens, but he's carrying 2 of them and is hurrying. You can see Lai barely disappearing into the storm as they're running down the muddy slope, slip sliding your way down.
Come on, you got this, Cortez. Let's go. Let's go.
Hoorah! Hoorah! Cortez begins running back with the carcinid. Gerald, you are on the ground. The carcinid is stepping over you and reaching its many limbs towards Scoops.
I'm gonna light him up.
You gonna light him up?
Blast him.
No fear.
8.
Nice.
That's a success. Go ahead and roll your damage.
I do the same amount of damage as you, motherfucker. Oh, yeah. 18, 20, 21.
21. So you take heavy footfalls backwards. You keep your eyes squinted at this thing. You will not let that vision of your death come true as you open fire, and it shrieks as it rears up, and bullets go from pelvis all the way up and one into its mouth, and you see it go back out this thing's exoskeleton. It lets out one final shriek. I need another sanity save.
Well, my sanity's a 14, so I got a 69.
That's a failure. Mark another stress. It lets out one final shriek as it tumbles to the ground, unmoving save for the twitching and snapping of claws and dying reflexes.
Do I see the... No, I've already left. Never
You've
mind.
already left, yeah. Outside, Lai and Cortez and Rosebud and Hurley make their way back to the landing zone. You guys have been given a long-range transmitter to call for when you're ready for evac. I guess it's up to you guys whether you're doing that now or you're waiting for your full crew to get back, or, you know, what are you doing in these moments?
I'm going to long range call for the evac, say that we need like medical scanning equipment.
Okay.
If that's
And probably
possible.
quarantine.
Yeah, and quarantine. And then once that call is done, I short range check to see how the rest of our crew is doing.
You turn on your long range comms, send out a call. You get a staticky like. Affirmative, we'll be down with medical. You think they got the message?
I do have short range.
You flip to short range comms to connect to
Flip mine
Scoops.
on as well.
You immediately hear the scrambling of the storm causing interference with your comms, and you also hear
Oh, fuck.
radiating over the airwaves. A shriek enters your mind, and I need everyone, I think just you, because you were actively making a call. Maybe you as well. You did say you turned your comms on.
I turned my comms on to see what we would... Yeah, I did myself in there.
Playing over like radio.
You said
hear
sanity?
this. Yes, this is sanity. save.
Success.
Success, nice.
Fail.
That's a stress. I'm going to swap the music real quick. We are inside with Lai and Gerald, who is on the ground, and this twitching dead carcinid. Larry, you hear your comms try to kick on as someone's trying to send a signal. You hear garbled words and then a shout of pain from what you think is Lai, but you don't get any effective communication through it. You do, however, hear the long-range communication of evac saying that they're on the way.
Okay. All right, Android, come on. We need to get out of here.
You reach down to check on the android. Let us see what you got. That's a 5. You reach down and shake the android, and it is unresponsive.
I will take the memory chip.
You turn their head unceremoniously. You can see where the webbing has burnt through part of their neck, and you're able to pull out a small thumb drive,
The black box, basically.
which has this memory of this mission and the moments leading up to their death, especially recorded onto it. You slip it into your pocket. Sauce, you may assume the role of Cortez.
Hoorah!
Hoorah!
You've got a machine gun on you. You have a stim pack with you as well, and you're carrying 2 of these samples. You're outside with Lie and with Rosebud. Scoops, do you just make your way back to the rest of the team?
Can I say I have like a lighter or something on me?
Sure.
Okay, and I'm gonna use the android's body as fuel to light the carapace on fire.
You drag the droid's body over. It's still got some residual like
I was
fuel
gonna
in the
say,
proboscis
yeah.
in the tank, and it ignites in flame. You see the body of the carcinid begin to twitch, and its jaws snap as final reflexes die out within it, and you start making your way outside. Get back to the exterior. Cortez, Lie, and Rosebud, you see Larry Scoops come sort of limping out of the airlock
Oh,
of
thank God.
Greta Base. You do not see Gerald with them.
Where's Gerald?
It's right here. I
There.
hold up the stick.
Their hand is covered in like milky robo blood.
Well, at least it's better than nothing.
Don't turn on your short-range comms. There's screaming.
Wonderful.
Did you get it?
The hostile has been deposed.
Oh my God.
That was not a pleasant experience.
Well, thank you. I think you just saved all of our lives.
I sure fucking hope so.
What
I
of
did-
our other objectives?
Make contact with Lieutenant Kaplan. It's probably
Have we?
dead.
Well, I did check the terminal, and the only other signs of organic matter were one in the... there was another one in the garage. I don't know if that's just the empty body.
Probably.
And then there was one in the freezer. So there is a possibility that Kaplan is in the freezer. That's the only other organic life that I found within the facility.
Higher ups are gonna want confirmation that we found at least the body.
Well, did you see any signs of another one of the creatures?
Not that I saw, but if it was hiding in the body like it was that Marine, I don't want to take any more chances. Scott's is already dead.
And we do have the Edam's research and the samples, so
Yeah. So that's Gerald there?
Yeah.
We need to destroy that because it has a copy of the recording of the crab song.
But this is Gerald.
He's dead.
well, Gerald did say that he's got a backup on the ship. He just would have no knowledge of this mission.
Do you think... I mean, they scanned some pretty important knowledge, so unless we have everything and you're sure...
We can come back. It's
Maybe
we
with
can't
a bigger
have anyone.
assault team.
Yeah, we can't have anyone listen to that, or else they're gonna get the fucking bugs in their brain like we do.
Was it confirmed that it can be translated through electronic?
The way that it affected Cortez, Scott's, and I initially was through a recording.
Oh, that's extra terrifying. Did you already destroy that one?
That pulls it out, breaks it.
Well, I guess
Chuck
that
it in the
settles
mud.
that. Is there any way that we could potentially hold on to this for any research? Will it yield anything for us?
I mean, this isn't my specialty, but like I don't know, maybe some sort of counter, something that we can play passively that would counteract the crab song. If someone were to hear it, it could be derived. But
I
if
mean-
it sounded like the fucking robot had the bug in its brain too.
I
It did
don't think
reproduce
this
some
is
kind of.
our decision to make.
Part of it was to terminate any hostiles
And if this will.
and rescue any surviving personnel. And we put other personnel at risk if we bring maybe a auditory virus on board. I say we leave it behind.
I think that's a wise choice.
Maybe we just put it on put it somewhere just inside. So if we do end up coming back with a full assault team and we do need it for some kind of countermeasure,
Yeah.
we at least have a recording of it.
Is there any way that we can be unaffected? Infected?
Infected?
Uninfected?
Chemo slows it. More research needs to be done in order to stop it. If the bug's in your brain, you're dead.
But we don't know if we've got the bugs yet.
But we don't know.
Oh.
We need to do some scans, which seems like a simple CAT scan will do.
I'll have people here make an intelligence and an intellect check, just a general one. This one won't have stress involved if you fail.
Also, didn't the song seem to slow the crab down?
What?
When the android was playing it, I think it was like a hive mind, like recognition.
So it was tapping into
It could be a possible defense. Just like I'm
gotta-
seeing it as a possible way to keep it from killing more people.
Maybe.
You are the leader.
I got 15.
What is
15.
I also had a success.
this? A 55?
10.
10, gotcha.
Nice.
You got 55, you said? So that's a failure, but there's no stress on this one. 10, that's a success.
29 success.
Success for the rest of you. You remember the only strange, like, symptom-like things you noticed on the other bodies, the live birth that you witnessed and the previous husk of a person, was many paper cut-like incisions all up and down their arms, all across their body. And those of you that succeeded the check, looking at your hands and stuff, I believe you had failed a fear save for the shriek at least once.
Yes, I think so.
I think you failed maybe twice.
Yeah.
Did Cortez?
You succeeded. Cortez, you do notice the paper-like cuts. Scoops, you also have the paper-like cuts as well, Rosebud. Scoops, you notice them, and as you notice these cuts on your body, it's almost like it makes you, like when you get sick at the sight of blood, it makes you woozy. It makes your vision blur slightly. You get the feeling that if all the stress and stuff maybe is catching up to you, and if you don't like sit down or lie down soon, you might pass out.
Do we notice that Scoops is going a little
I think
woozy?
maybe, yeah, they're a little unsteady on their feet.
I sort of go, hey, Scoops, do you need to sit down?
I go and help them sit down.
We're infected.
And I look at my hands and I notice.
Listen, Doc.
We're
you
not-
take the evac.
We're not making it.
We cannot go.
Oh, shit. Okay.
For the safety of everyone, we cannot go.
All right.
I think they're right.
We can
So-
do more reconnaissance here, leave as much paperwork as we can behind.
Also, additional synopsis. So once the larva is in your brain, it's symbiotic, and if it gets cut, you die. But it seems that it can't live without you either. Just so you guys know.
So are y'all separating, going back into the building while
We wait for you to get evac'd.
And if there's a possible way for us to get brain scanned, just to confirm whether or not which of us are infected.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd imagine the three of us are, but
I think we're going to sort of exposit the remainder of this story as after maybe an hour of waiting, the ship begins to land. You see its thrusters come back through the clouds. The storm is starting to pick up. You see it struggle with the wind as it sinks into the mud and opens up its ramp. And immediately you see 10 military grunts with automatic weapons in full gear, gas masks, and a noise-canceling headgear step out with guns and demand you all get on your knees.
go on my knees, put my hands up.
Yeah,
You all do it. I'm not going to demand a fear save because you were kind of expecting, So
We
you
asked
lean
for
down.
quarantine and
The doctor is clean. It was a pleasure serving you.
They pull out.
and we show the paper cuts on our
Oh, okay.
on our hands.
They roughly grab your hands, examine you, toss your arms to the side. You feel a prick on your neck, and they hold up like a PDA that the needle extracts into. There's some chirps and then a sound, and he shakes his head and moves on to the rest of you. It gets to you, and you're clean. And
I use protection.
they stand.
Gotta be a smart slut.
And they say, sack the researcher, trank the others. And you all feel more pricks enter your neck, unless you're trying to resist, of course, but this is what they're doing to you. As they knock you out, you have a bag thrown over your head, restraints put on your arms, tied behind your back as you're loaded onto the shuttle.
Oh, this seems excessive, but okay.
Did we dump Gerald before we?
If you want to say you did, yes.
Okay.
You could have
Do
walked
we want to
back.
say that, or do we
I'll
want to
just
tell
say-
them that we?
Because I'm assuming I had it in hand and we were waiting.
Okay.
I'm going to bury it in the dirt. Just like
Yeah, you just shove it in the mud when you see
Yeah.
you make a last-minute decision as
stab
to...
it in, step it through.
Gotcha.
Solid.
Tight.
You guys are knocked out. Consciousness is stolen from you as you are pulled back onto the ship, which begins to take off into orbit. You guys are taken back to the Metamorphosis. You are presented to your manager, Moss, who is very pleased to have received the specimens. Lai, you are unrestrained after many more scans. They apologize for the rough behavior. They congratulate you on your work. They say since the others have been compromised, their shares of the pay will be directed towards your accounts.
Oh my god. That's very melancholic, but awesome. My 3 weed smoking girlfriends need it.
You just got 8 months of pay and 3 months of hazard pay. So
Awesome.
you are looking for a vacation.
And we're all dead.
And Lai is like the entire time being so like, hey, if that bug pops or like if anyone hears that noise, like they can be infected too. It's auditory, like they need to be like auditorily quarantined as much as possible.
They make a big show of taking a lot of notes, of confirming everything you're saying, of telling you that your
right.
work has been vital, that
Totally.
you have been an incredible asset, and that you deserve every day of vacation that you're about to
Fantastic.
go on.
I'm a botanist.
There's cake downstairs, actually.
They
Great asset to the
And a
company.
medal's waiting on
Yeah.
deck.
They organize a shore leave for you to take some time off, and while you're away safely many stellar systems apart from the Metamorphosis, the rest of you wake up. You realize you've been unconscious much longer than initial tranquilizer doses should keep you under.
Bodies are weak and our hair is long.
You feel as though you've been just woken from a coma, and you look up bleary-eyed, blinking into a room full of doctors wearing goggles, masks, and noise suppression gear. You look around at soundproof observation windows with many reflected eyes behind them. A voice over an intercom says, "Do not worry, we are merely observing."
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Notice amongst the speakers dozens and dozens of microphones as you are within a solid glass, like almost like a cryo tube, and they are standing around waiting until eventually you begin to feel the clipping at the inside of your bones towards your throat and your neck. And the crab song is born once more and recorded to be used for whatever means the company wishes.
Oh, lovely.
And I think that's where we're going to end our Mothership adventure, another bug hunt.
Ooh.
This was run as a one-shot, but there's a lot more in the book. Explanation as to why the crab song is playing over the radio waves, what happened to some of the other people. There's a whole chart on the front that shows which people were killed in action, which are missing in action, and which are still alive. So
Wow.
if any of you are interested in Mothership, interested in seeing the rest of this game, play it yourself, get it yourself. It is super easy to run. All the rules fit in one booklet, and then they give you like 5 more as supplemental just so you can build your own stuff.
Super easy to pick up as a new player, too. This
Yeah.
is one of the most intuitive. Just quickly, here are the rules. Let's get going.
Yeah, no, this is the first time any of us have touched the system. Hunter's been looking at it for a few weeks, but no, yeah, all the roles just make sense.
I'll also say, as one last bit of praise as well, I've already told my players this, but my notes for the session, basically, they included Dr. Edam's notes just because scriptage, but stopped when you guys stepped out of the lander. Like, I had no other details written down for myself or put it in my own words. It was all just from the book, basically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I highly recommend this game. Y'all check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty lit. Definitely gonna play it again.
Yeah,
Thanks.
for sure.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for listening. Thanks to all
Thank
my
you.
lovely
Thank you
players for
all.
being here.
you.
Thank you, Michael, for coming. Hey, Michael, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Boris6335, and I've also got a band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are indie meets hip hop meets reggae. We're called Pineapple Incorporated. You can also find us on Instagram and on Spotify. We have our EP that just came out. And later this year, we're going to come out with our first album. And hopefully I'll be able to do some maybe theme songs or something with
Fuck yeah.
DICEBERG Ahead.
That.
So we'll have to see about the future with that. But
You need
yeah.
a crab song.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
crab song. That's a great idea. I'm gonna go work on that tonight.
I've been listening to the fuck out of that EP. It kicks ass. I love it, genuinely.
That makes my heart so happy.
Like,
Yeah.
like disassociated from you, I really like this EP.
Oh heck yeah! Oh, I'm glad to hear that. And like I said, we're gonna have a whole new album coming out later this year. So
Fuck
I'm
yeah.
so
But
excited.
thank you guys so much for having me.
Absolutely.
And I hope to,
Yeah.
Hell
be on some more stuff
yeah.
coming.
Thanks to everyone else. Thanks to Sauce, my wonderful partner, for coming. Make sure you check out all the links in our description.
They're down there.
They're down there.
Down there.
They're down there.
Crystal Maggie Dice.
Dice.com.
Yeah,
Get
you-
10% off.
Use
Ooh.
code all caps dice BERG_ahead. They've got some kick-ass fucking dice there.
I'm
They
gonna have
do.
to get some of those tonight.
Yeah.
Checking it out.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.